Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. It's time to talk Thursday night football with my boy Scott Bogman. We've got interesting game here on the slate. AFC action for you. The Houston Texans and the New York Jets on a short week. Bogman, what could go wrong?
Oh, no, I think the Jets are flowing right now, right? They're in a great spot, great headspace. They've made all the correct moves coming into this game. You know, nothing to be ashamed of at all. So I think everything's going to go off swimmingly.
They're flowing like $9.99 boxed wine. That's how they're flowing right now.
Franzia. That's right.
Let's go, baby. Oh, man. Look, Thursday night football. Maybe it's good that the Jets don't have a lot of time to wallow in their own crapulence, as Homer Simpson would so eloquently put it. But, like, you are in a situation right now here. You're fighting for your life. I already bet the Jets under 6.5 win total, Boggs. I was looking ahead of the schedule, and I'm like, I don't know if I see 6 wins there, especially don't see 7 necessarily. And look, it's not without some circumstances on the other side of this game too, because Stefon Diggs is out for the Houston Texans, setting that stage. He's done for the year, so they are very thin. No Nico Collins, no Stefon Diggs, so you're going to see Tank Dell, you're going to see John Mechie, you might even have a Robert Woods sighting. Who knows? Crazy things could happen. Let's get to the tail of the tape. Before we do, quick reminder to make your picks count. Make sure you download the Betting Pros app and join our NFL podcast group. It doesn't even matter if you can wager in your state. All that matters is you can make picks and win some free stuff, because we're giving away prizes to the best picker for every week and every month. So again, download the Betting Pros app or just go to bettingpros.com/NFL contest. It's never too late to join. I know it's late. It's week 9. It doesn't matter because it's weekly prizes. So go get in there right now. We got November just kicking off, so a whole new month. Now is the best time to get in there for the first time. bettingpros.com/NFL contest. All right, here we go. Houston Texans, New York Jets. The Jets are 2-6. The Texans, they're the inverse. They're 6-2. They're 2.5-point favorites in this one. The Jets' best number you can get is -1.5. 42 or 42.5 is the over-under, depending on the market you're looking at. And if you are looking here at some other spots in terms of the money line, Boggs, again, you're getting some different betting houses telling you some different things on this game. But at the end of the day, I'm not looking for any sort of Jets upset personally. I don't think that's going to happen.
It wouldn't be an upset. They're favored.
I was going to say, they are favored right now. I'm saying -125. So I'm going to keep this simple. Give me the Houston Texans on the money line at +114. I thought it was wrong, and I had to go and check it again. But I looked at it,
do you see all the notes that I have on this game?
Well, I saw your notes from yesterday on the props. But
no. But do you see? I have one note.
I do see.
WTF is this line all about?
The WTF I'm just seeing now. I saw your pick, but I didn't see the WTF is this line all about. But
I don't understand it at all. I mean, I guess, you know, Stefon Diggs is down, Nico Collins is down,
but they still have Joe Mixon. You're still going to run the
Jets
football.
Defense is supposedly good. I just like. These teams have opposite records. One is 6-2, one is 2-6. It's short rest, it's travel for Houston, and they haven't been playing their best ball. I understand that. Who is playing the worst ball in the league right now? I mean, outside of Carolina, it might be the Jets. They've been miserable. They just lost to the Patriots. When they were playing better a couple weeks ago, they beat the brakes off the Patriots 24-3 on a Thursday night, right? So I just don't understand this. I guess this is the fear of God has been put into Aaron Rodgers. He's been in the darkness. He did ayahuasca one time. He sat in the darkness and made friends with it. He's not Bane. I mean, what does he think is going to happen? Complete some damn passes. Show up to training camp on time.
Bane was a leader. He had all of those guys working for him in a sewer. They were down in the sewers in these terrible, dark, dank, awful places.
So did Aaron Rodgers. He just looked at Saleh and said, "Do you feel like you're in charge?" I mean,
the Jets defense is ranked 4th in the league right now in terms of defensive yardage, given up 286. That's the 4th best in the league, right? They've given up 17 touchdowns, also one of the better in the league as well. But again, it's the offense that's really dragging, and I like the Texans defense. I think they're good enough to go in here and look, they might be grinding out a victory, but I'm with you. Dude. Texans money line, bro. Like that's where my mind goes. Again, I saw it and I'm like, this can't be. Let me go to BP and double check this. And I'm like, no, this is exactly what it is still. And
it's one of those like, oh, this line must have been from the beginning of the season, right? Like one of those. You know what I mean? That's you get some of those in college on occasion. So sometimes I'm like, well, and then I did the same thing as you did. I double, triple checked. I'm like, what is happening here? I just don't understand this. I guess in this game with Diggs down and you're only down to Tank Dell and Xavier Hutchinson and John Mechie, maybe they think Houston will become one dimensional. They're on the road. The defense has been good for the Jets. Like, you can piece it together and see the argument, but the way these teams are playing, the Texans are squeaking out wins and the Jets are squeaking out losses. And if it's going to be a close game, how can you depend on the Jets?
I want Stroud and Mixon and the Texans defense combined to eke out a victory here. And you know what else I fear too?
I mean, listen, they did let Anthony Richardson complete 10 of 34, whatever, and still almost lost that game. So the Texans aren't playing their best ball either, but they're finding ways to win.
I will say this out loud. It's not impossible for the circumstances of the Texans, short week, injuries, travel, all that stuff, to drop this game to the Jets. It's not impossible at all.
No,
from a wagering perspective, I'm not going to invest in it. The other thing that I can answer your question, by the way, because you said what this game was originally, I can see that on BettingPros because it's an amazing place. The original line was Jets by 3. That was the original line. So
yeah, I mean, the Texans were expected to win their division. The Jets were expected to at least compete for the division against Buffalo. So, you know, I get it, but it's not working.
Before we get to the props, let me throw this at you because this is also a little local flavor. This morning, you know, pre-sale for the Garden Show for WWE. I always like to get on Ticketmaster, do my little pre-sale, boom, boom, boom. Day after Christmas, we have a tradition. Me and the kids, we all go. It's a good time. My daughters love the wrestling shows. I do too. But while I was on there, I saw some other things for get your Jets tickets now. Everybody reselling Jets tickets. Everybody putting up Jets tickets. I'm telling you right now, this crowd, there's people who do not want to go to this game. Again, it's Halloween, number one.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know, the kids and stuff like that, you're going to miss Halloween with your kids. I don't think there's a lot of Texans fans necessarily in the New York area, but I'm just saying this crowd, if things don't go well, they are already there and people are mad at them for being there because you're not home with your kids on Halloween and all this other stuff. This could be a very mean, nasty, impatient crowd. And if things don't go well...
If you stay to the end, it might be pretty easy to get out of the parking lot. We'll see.
Maybe.
If you stay all the way to the end, maybe it is.
Maybe the best costume to wear there, paper bag. Just saying. I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be a popular one.
It could certainly be. But I'm just, keep an eye on this. This is going to be a salty crowd. They're very unhappy you lost. Some people are coming here just to yell at them. And if things don't go well early, it's going to get dark out very quickly. I'm just saying.
There's also slight chance of rain, you know, so people leave. No,
it's going to be 80
bail.
degrees here. It's going to be 80 degrees in New Jersey.
God, Halloween. It's going to feel like you're playing in Jacksonville.
But climate change is not a thing, Boggs. Stop it.
No.
All right, let's get to the props for the week. And don't forget, the best place to bet the props is using the prop bet cheat sheet over on Betting Pros. You can see the best props with the best lines attached to them based on our over-under scenarios with fantasy projections. It's all the universe of Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros coming together to give you the prop bet cheat sheet. It's an incredible tool. And believe you me, we've been using it all year. We want you to use it too. Go to Fantasy Pros to see all the props. Excuse me, go to Betting Pros. What am I saying? Wrong show. Go to bettingpros.com/props. That's where you go for it. Or again, just download the app. That's what you want to do. All right, let's start with Aaron Rodgers here. You've got some props for him. One of them I've already bet myself. So take us through not one, but two Rodgers props that you're in on this week.
I got an old priest and a young priest here. I have an over and an under on Aaron Rodgers. We're going to go over the 1.5 passing touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. It is paying plus money right now at plus 115. Rodgers has hit this in 5 of 8 so far. The pressure is on him, very much so. And Houston is 28th in passing touchdowns allowed per game, 2 on average per game. And Houston is 30th in red zone defense, allowing touchdowns on 70% of red zone trips. I think Carolina and somebody else, maybe Washington, are the only two teams that are worse than the Texans in the red zone. Texans defense has been good, but once they get down there, they are the bend and then break defense in the red zone instead of the bend and don't break defense. So if they do get it down there, I do think Aaron Rodgers will throw a couple touchdowns. But on the inverse, I'm going to take the under 234.5 passing yards. The Texans lead the league in opponent completion percentage by 6% over any other team, 53.06%. For them, Cleveland second at 59.07%. So completion percentage is bad against the Texans. If you get in the red zone, you're probably going to score. But before that, it's tough to pick apart this Texans defense, specifically the secondary. Drake May is the only quarterback to go over this total against Houston, and the Jets' completion percentage is ranked 28th right now. Also, the Texans are number 1 in the league in time of possession this season. So Aaron Rodgers may not have the ball for a lot of the game to hit this total either.
That's why I love this one, and I already bet it too before I even got to the sheet to take a look at it. He's also gone under this number 50% of the time this year already. And I guess some lesser opponents than what we've seen. So I'm in on this one. Again, it just feels like, I don't know, it's just starting to collapse upon itself a little bit. And it's just,
well,
really
Aaron
difficult.
Rodgers, as soon as the E is next to the Jets name, he's done. He won't play another snap. As soon as
you don't think so?
I think he's done.
Ooh,
I think he doesn't want to be there either.
I love that. That's a spicy meatball. I'm all in. All right, let's get to Joe Mixon, another one that I've already bet too. And you and I see overs here for Mixon. Minus 115 is the number. I'm just all in on this one too. I think you grind out this win. You put the ball in Joe Mixon's hands because you don't have a lot here. You try to use some guys like John Mechie, and you try to just push the ball, take a shot with Tank Dell here and there. But you just play conservative, play defense, come out with a victory in a short week. I think that's the game plan, and I think Mixon showed you last week too. He looked really good in that game.
Over 81.5. This was 77.5 yesterday when I looked at it. So today on Wednesday, as we're recording this has ticked up and up and up. But he's been on fire. 3 straight games with 100 rushing yards after coming off the IR or not playing a couple games, I guess. Jets are giving up on average 125 rushing yards per game. And the Texans, again, number 1 in time of possession, 25 carries in 2 straight games for Mixon. Plus, we had Diggs go down. We have Nico down again. They're going to run the ball a lot in this game. It is the best part of their offense right now. So Jets have the worst percentage of opponent offensive production coming from the rush game, which means they're pretty good against the pass too, but they haven't been so great against the run recently. So, we saw, Stevenson didn't have a very productive day, but he got in the end zone twice. And just the way this offense has worked for Houston, I think they're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to hold the ball a lot. So I like Joe Mixon to go over this total.
I could also see them using Dalton Schultz a lot in this game too.
Sure.
Just putting that out there too. Don't forget about him. I was looking at some of the numbers on him. They're not as low as you would think they are. Like 4.5 receptions.
That's the one I wanted, but it was 4.5 is too high.
I was expecting it to be 2.5,
money.
maybe 3.5, but it's a 4.5. Now the projections have it at 3.8. It's real close. I would bet the under on the 4.5, but again, 44.5 receiving yards. I could see him getting involved in this game. But the fact that these numbers are as big as they are, I think tells you that Vegas is telling you, everybody out there, that Schultz is going to be active in this one from how you approach, again, going against the Jets. But you've got a tight end you want to talk about too, but it's not Mr. Schultz.
No, it's Tyler Conklin, and I'm going to go under 23.5 receiving yards. And look, he had a great game last week against the Patriots, 42 yards, right? But he has had huge swings in productions. He had, against the Pats, 6 targets, 5 and 93 in that first Thursday night game. Against Minnesota, he had 9 targets, 6 catches, 55 yards. And then against the Patriots last week, 4 targets, 3 catches, 42 yards. Here's his other totals. Against the Niners, 1 catch for 6 yards. Against the Titans, 1 catch for 10 yards. Against the Broncos, 4 catches for only 17 yards, 2 for 10 yards against Buffalo, and 4 catches for 7 yards against the Steelers. So when he goes under this total, he goes way, way under this total. We talked about time of possession. Probably not going to be on the Jets' side in this game. 2 of those 3 big games were against the Patriots. No disrespect, Joe, but your team is rough this year.
They're no good, and that's what makes beating the Jets even more fun. Is when you're no good and you still beat the Jets. It's good. And they have the same record right now too. That is also super fun. We're fighting for the draft spots.
Houston is the only team allowing fewer than 3 receptions to tight ends right now. A lot of that stuff, a lot of those average numbers, I don't really love because you're number 1 in time of possession. The other team isn't holding the ball that much. That is a big factor into these averages. But they're averaging 2.6 receptions to the tight end per game, and the next lowest is like 3.2. So it's by almost a full half reception, or maybe it is a full half reception if I'm remembering correctly. That is not all time of possession. That is the way they run the defense. So they are protecting against the tight end here, and I don't think Tyler Conklin's going to have a very big day. It's a low number, but I'm going to go under it still.
We still got touchdown calls to go, and of course, we've got the same game parlay for Thursday Night Football. But Boggs, give me one more prop that people should be betting this night.
I like Xavier Hutchinson over 19.5 receiving yards. It's -120. Hutchinson hasn't been great, but Diggs leaves 8 targets per game. That's gone. Nico's out at least one more week. That's 9 targets per game gone still. That's 17 targets gone in this game. Hutchinson's being used a little differently to start the season. His ADOT was 9.5. On his 22 targets, he was down to, in the first 3 games, his ADOT was 2.9 in those first 4 games. But his last 2 catches, which, they're not throwing the ball to him a bunch, but his last 2 catches were 11 and 19 yards. So knowing that 17 targets are gone in this game, he was the guy to step up and take those snaps last week when Diggs went down. He was the first one up. They have Mechie as well, who we like. They have Bobby Trees, who is a vet, of course. But I think Hutch is their guy, big-bodied wide receiver, contested catch guy out of Iowa State. And I think just 2 catches, I think, is going to get him to this total. So
yeah, I like this. I got to say, I like this one. It's funny that it's juiced to -120. That is a little surprising. I thought
it was -115 yesterday when I looked at it, kind of a normal, and then it went up. It was 18.5 yesterday. Now it's 19.5 and it's -120. So people are obviously betting.
People are starting to bet it. People are on it. All right, let's get to the same game parlay of Thursday Night Football. Give me the under. Look, Boggs and I just see eye to eye on a lot of stuff for this one. Under on Rodgers, 233.5 passing yards. Give me Joe Mixon over the 81.5, and then throw in the Joe Mixon anytime touchdown. You get +384. Almost 4-1. How you doing? I love that. And hopefully you're watching and following us on social media over at Betting Pros NFL on Instagram and Betting Pros on TikTok and on Twitter as well, because I gave you the Monday Night Football bets 3 for 3. And I did it in the parlay, and I told you to do it in the parlay along with me because the TJ Watt juice was so heavy for the sack. And hopefully you got that because that was 3-1 also. So we are red hot here on these standalone games. We're going to keep pushing forward. Before we get to the touchdown calls for Thursday night, if you're looking to build your own, check out Betting Pros Same Game Parlay Builder. It's not just here. We're not just giving it. But go make your own. Have some fun. You combine multiple bets within a single NFL game, leveraging insights and like correlations as well for bet recommendations. You can get EV ratings, cover probability, and a whole lot more. Perfect your betting strategy by analyzing the overall correlation grades and projections, and stay ahead of the pack by following the latest SGPs placed by fellow bettors like me, Joey P, bettingpros.com/Joe/Bogman too. That's the way to go. Or you could just go and search now for Joe Pisapia for Scott Bogman. You can find us that way. So start building your winning parlays today at bettingpros.com/parlay or in the Betting Pros app right now. Download that bad boy wherever you get your apps and start betting smarter, not harder. Boggs, I'm going with a fun one tonight. Again, it's just very small, a smidge on this one. I'm not going crazy on it. I just feel like John Mechie at +390 was too good to pass up. I know you're going the X-Man. I'm going with Mechie. Hopefully one of us, if not both of us, are happy in this one. Who knows? Where are you going for your touchdown call for Thursday night?
I mean, it is crazy that we've gotten to this part in the show and we haven't mentioned Breece Hall's name once in this game.
We haven't.
I mean, here's the thing, is that his numbers are just juice. His touchdown is -130. That Joe put Mixon's in there because he's the only one with worse odds at -145. But the props for Breece Hall are just insane. They're too high, right? And that's really the thing. So we're not trying to ignore Breece Hall here. I know, we've gone through this whole show and not mention. I just want to mention -130, pretty easy play for Breece Hall. I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson. Like I said, Texans allowing a lot of touchdowns in the red zone. I don't think there's another person in the NFL that has more plays drawn up for them. Maybe Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, but Garrett Wilson has a lot of plays drawn up for him, especially in the red zone. So it's +175. I think Rodgers throws 2 scores. I think Wilson's one of them.
Yeah, go use the tools, Same Game Parlay, obviously. Use the prop bet cheat sheet. Use everything we can give you here and all the information we're giving you on the show to go make some good bets on Thursday Night Football. Look, the Jets could right the ship. It's possible. It's a short week sometimes. That's the best medicine. We all know that. I'm just not investing in it. I'm going to invest
I'm
in the
not betting
6-2
on it.
team. I'm
Yeah.
not betting on it either. So we'll see. We'll come back next week. Maybe all the Jet fans get to walk a mud hole in me. That's fine. That's cool. If we have fun here on the program, we'll see. Or it could be brutal next week too. We come back here again and talk more about what happened on Thursday night last time. We'll find out. There's only one way to see. So
No way the Jets start 2-7, right, Joe?
I don't know what's scarier right now. Opening your door past 10 p.m. on Halloween in New Jersey, or having to watch the Jets maybe in the fourth quarter of this game. I don't know. We'll find out. Happy Halloween, everybody. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. Subscribe to the Betting Pros podcast and the YouTube channel, and drop your comments below. And don't forget to ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications so you never miss a moment of NBA, NFL, and of course college football here on Betting Pros. We got everything here on the channel. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Trick or treat.